This is Second Kings chapter 4, 1. Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, Thy servant my husband is dead, and thou knowest that the servant did fear the Lord, and the creditor is come to take unto him my two sons to be bondmen. Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? She said, Thine handmaid hath not anything in the house, save a pot of oil. Then he said, Go borrow 3 vessels abroad, all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee, and upon thy sons and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside which is full. So she went from him and shut the door upon her sons, who brought the vessels to her. She poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, Bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, There is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. Then she came and told the man of God, and he said, Go sell the oil, and pay thy debt, and live thou and thy children of the rest. And it fell on a day that Elisha passed to Shunem, where was a great woman, Shunem, and she constrained him to eat bread. And so it was that as oft as he passed by, he turned thither to eat bread. She said unto her husband, Behold, now I perceive that this is a holy man of God, which passeth by us continually. Let us make a little chamber, I pray thee, on the wall, and let us set for him there a bed and a table and a stool and a candlestick. It shall be, when he cometh to us, he shall turn in thither. And it fell on a day, when he came thither, that he turned into the chamber and lay there. He said to Gehazi his servant, Call the Shunammite. And when he had called her, she stood before him. And he said unto her, Say now unto her, Behold, thou hast been careful for us with all this care. What is done for thee? And wouldst be spoken for the king, or the captain of the host? And she answered, I dwell among my own people. Said, What then is done for her? And Gehazi answered, Verily she had no child, and her husband is old. Said, Call her. And when he called her, she stood by the door. He said, About this season, according to thine life, thou shalt embrace a son. And he said, Nay, my lord, thou man of God, do not lie unto thine handmaid. The woman conceived and bare sons in the season Elisha had said unto her, according to the time of life. When the child was grown, it fell on a day, went out to his father in the reapers. He said unto his father, My head, my head. And he said to a lad, Carry him to his mother. And when he had taken him and brought him to his mother, and sat her knees till noon, and then died, she went up and laid him on the bed of the man of God, and shut the door upon him, and went out. And she called unto her husband, and said, Send me, I pray thee, one of the young men, and one of the asses, that I may run to the man of God and come again. So I don't know how they said. I don't know. They said it goes from making oil, which would be a miracle to most people. Most people would call it a miracle like Jesus, but a woman did it. And he said, Wherefore wilt thou go to him today, and neither new moon nor Sabbath? And said, It shall be well. And she saddled an ass, and said to her servant, drive and go forward, and slack not thy writing for me, except I bid thee. So she went and came unto the man of God to Mount Carmel. And it came to pass when he, man of God, saw her after off, that he said to Gehazi his servant, Behold, yonder is the Shunammite. So is this the Shunammite who actually had the oil come? Is the Shunammite woman the woman who had all that oil come out of her vessel? I'm not really sure. But Jesus had things that like had abundance. Jesus had abundance without having the ability to have things. So they had oil come out of a vessel with the Shunammite woman, I guess. Now, if a Shunammite woman can have oil, but she's not Jesus Christ, but the priest told her to. If the priest told her to do it, and she had all this oil come out, but she wasn't Jesus to people. So woman's husband's dead. The priest says, go pour out all this oil. She followed the priest's orders. She had all this oil that kept coming. So all this oil kept coming. And yet, she's not Jesus Christ to people. She's just someone who listened to a priest. So she's not a miracle worker. She's not Jesus Christ. But she did that back in Kings. Kings 2:4:1. So that was way back in 2 Kings 4:1. But you don't call her female Jesus Christ. So she's not the female Jesus Christ, but you sit there, yeah? So she had a husband, he died, she made all this oil, but she's not female Jesus Christ, she's a widow. Maybe a Shunammite. I don't know. When a woman does it, she's just a widow of a prophet. When Jesus Christ makes something like that happen, you call him Jesus Christ and you worship him. This was back in 2 Kings 4.